I'm here again because I saw another YouTube video that I just couldn't stand. It was comparing two different matchas, high quality matcha, based on color. And I was thinking, why? Because if you obsess over color too much, you can end up with the wrong matcha. So today I'm going to break down when color matters and when it doesn't. We'll go through this methodically, with the facts like usual. First, we'll do a science lesson on how color and taste are two different things, and then we'll talk about when color matters and when color does not. By the way, I'm Yuki, I'm the founder of Tealife, and here we break down Japanese green tea to make your next cup of tea more fun. Here's what I often hear. Matcha shades the tea leaves, that increases the chlorophyll, which makes matcha good. Now this is not quite accurate. Yes, shading does increase the chlorophyll, that's correct, and chlorophyll does make the matcha green, that's correct as well. However, chlorophyll is only a pigment. You might have learned this in science class, that they are there to capture the light energy for photosynthesis to make energy. And when the matcha leaves are shaded, the plant goes, "Where's the light? I need to make more energy." And that's why they produce a lot more chlorophyll. And you can have all the chlorophyll, all the pigments you want, but at the end of the day, chlorophyll does not taste good. At best, it tastes green or grassy. It doesn't give umami, it doesn't give sweetness, it's not my cup of tea. What you're really tasting in high quality matcha are the amino acids, such as theanine and glutamic acid. These are the substances that are responsible for umami, sweetness, smoothness, everything that makes matcha really delicious. Now here's the key point. Although amino acids and chlorophyll are both increased through shading, they're both different biological pathways, which means that one does not guarantee the other. So the greener matcha does not automatically mean better tasting matcha. A lot of this boils down to cultivar choice. Some cultivars are very good at producing color, and others might be really good at producing umami and sweetness. I'll give you two examples. There's a cultivar called okumidori. Okumidori basically means deep green, and as the name suggests, it's a very deep green colored cultivar. And because of this, okumidori is very widely used in blends where color is very important. It's both used in ceremonial grade matcha, but also culinary grade matcha to increase the color of the matcha. The taste is good as well. It's clean and it's fine, and that's why it's being used. But in terms of umami and sweetness, there's nothing exceptional there. Now we can compare this with a different cultivar. Let's take the Saimidori cultivar. The Saimidori cultivar is actually one of my favorite cultivars, and the name Saimidori basically means bright green. As the name suggests, it's a very bright green, but it's not as dark as the okumidori. So when you compare the colors of a okumidori and a saimidori may be a little bit lighter. But the thing is, saimidori is prized for something else. It's prized for its very, very high content of delicious amino acids that really drive the umami and the sweetness of the taste. So again, if you base it just based on the color of the matcha, you can completely miss which one is good or not. This is also why tea masters actually blend cultivars when they make their matcha. In a typical blend, you may bring in one cultivar to increase the umami and sweetness. You might bring in another cultivar to include a controlled amount of astringency and structure to the matcha itself. And then lastly, you might bring in a different cultivar to enhance the color so it makes it look good. And as a tea master, that's how you could make a matcha blend, and that kind of tells you how color and taste are not the same thing. So you might ask, then is color useless? No, actually not at all. In certain circumstances, color is actually very important as well. So if the color of the matcha powder is yellowish or brownish or very dull, those are red flags. It may indicate things like bad storage, old material, oxidation, or it could even mean it's later harvest periods, so not first flush tea leaves. When I say that, if it's a second flush tea leaf, it would have less amounts of chlorophyll and amino acids, so it's just a notch lower in terms of grade of matcha, and that would be obvious from the color as well. So when the color difference is obvious, then it's a signal of lower quality, and that could be a red flag. So here's the rules. For colors, I would recommend you use this as a red flag indicator rather than a ranking tool. It's not something you can split hairs with matcha quality. That's why I said in the beginning of the video that comparing two quality green teas based on their color doesn't really make sense. So that's the end of our video. I hope that's interesting. I hope it helps. We'll continue to provide you correct facts about Japanese green tea. I recently did a video to address another common misconception, which is better green tea equals more health benefits. So if you're interested, take a look at the next video.